breakaway speeds is a huge deal for me. Catching guys on breaks, it's just a big part of it.
You're not a big guy, so
No, right.
that's your game, huh?
Yeah, my legs. Yep.
Yeah. Well, great. And any ambition beyond high school for either one of you, both of you guys?
Yeah, I'm looking at for track to maybe Ohio State or Penn State.
Great.
And for FYC.
Your dad's a Penn State guy. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, he was there 82 or 86, I think, and he won. He was in both national championships. He lost one, and the next year they won it. So, yeah, I look up to him a lot.
Great. And your ambition beyond
I
this?
plan to play football in college and talked to a few coaches, made a couple of visits around. Just not really sure yet.
Whatever works out.
Yeah, whatever.
Even New Sound State would be a nice option if that worked out.
Whatever will offer me, I'll take it.
Great. Well, how excited are you guys this week? I mean, coming up here. I mean,
I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
I'm excited for my team.
It's a big opportunity, right, for you guys?
Big game.
A lot of computer points probably
Yeah.
riding on this, especially for you guys,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, from our only loss of the last regular
So
season.
there's a little revenge going
Yeah.
on too.
It's a big game.
We have to come back with this win.
Crestview, so you're on the road.
Yeah.
You got to be excited, no mistakes, and you have a good chance to win.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we for sure do.
We come ready to play, do our job. We'll come out.
Well, hopefully those guys will play a little bit extra hard for you.
Definitely. I hope
And
so.
things will happen good for you guys. Well, I appreciate you coming down with Coach Beck. I know you probably just got done with practice a little bit ago. And so good luck to you this week.
Thank you.
And have a great season the rest of the year. And make sure you get him into the playoffs and things go well and you go beyond week 13.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Great. Good luck to you guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
We're going to be back more from Kelly's Bar in Youngstown, Ohio with Yards After Contact.
When you need good quality entertainment for your wedding, private party, or other event, give MVP Entertainment a call at 330-942-2424. We provide quality sound and lighting at great prices. If you'd like to see what we do, check us out at Kelly's Bar at 1597 Mahoning Avenue on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, or Quaker Steak and Lube in Boardman on Route 224 on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. That's MVP Entertainment, 330-942-2424.
And welcome back to Kelly's Bar on Mahoning Avenue in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm sitting here with Mark Porter, the owner and originator and anything else to do with Scouting, Ohio. Mark Porter, welcome to our program. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Gary, for having me. Nice little setup we got going here.
Yeah.
Appreciate being a part of it.
Yeah, it's our third week, and it's a great time to have you on, just in general, because it's always good to talk high school football anyway. And
This time of year, that's I think what I do from morning, noon, and night is talk high school football.
for the next
Yeah.
13, 12 weeks.
Yeah, and I think it's even going to January or February with me.
Well, hey, it's been good to you, right, Mark? I
Yeah.
mean, did you ever imagine? Let's start there. Did you ever imagine? Is this what you imagined, or is this even beyond when you started this?
Yeah, for the people that don't know how Scouting Ohio started, Gary was there at the inception, and I don't think either one of us predicted it. I often refer to it as like a Forrest Gump-like start, right place, right time, right technology, right coaches in this area, right players. I think 2005 is when it started. And I was at Canfield, but that's when Canfield went to the state championship. And I had a teammate of mine that played with the Canfield, Dan Reardon, and Dan was at Ursuline at the time, and PJ Fecco played with me at St. Charles. And he
Coach
was at Mooney.
Beck.
And Coach Beck, who here was my high school coach, he was at Hubbard, and Coach Beck's best friend was Dick Engel at Howland. And before you know it, Scouting Ohio didn't have just Canfield, but it had the whole area. And
Canfield and Rand were some of your big ones.
yeah, and back at that time, Rand had a lot of big prospects. And if you can remember the prospects at Mooney at the time, you had the Beechams and Zordiches and
Yeah, it was a good time.
John Simons, and I mean, and even at Ursuline at the time, there was a Harold Coates, and there was a real run on talent in this area that I just happened to be a part of. So, nice combination of things. It's what started off as putting videos up for free for kids. Was one day after 4 or 5 years giving everything away for free, we had to put a business plan to it, and it turned out really great for the kids. We're about 90 colleges buy the service now, and the kids get to go to the site for free and create a profile, and we help them get scouted by college coaches.
So this was the dream, or is this beyond?
Yeah, I think, and I've said this before, a lot of people want to be a football scout. A lot of people want to be an astronaut, a recruiter. They want to do that stuff. So the line is very long, and there's a lot of guys trying to do it. And I think fluking into it is the only way you can really get into it, unless you put the time as a grad assistant and work with the school and become an actual coach. But the scouting thing, I had to learn scouting. I had to see what other scouts did and pay attention and see what they were really looking for. I mean, I'm not embarrassed to admit when I first started, I wasn't a scout. You have a football background. Everyone thinks they know football.
You're a film guy.
Yeah, you're a film guy, and you're like, okay, I played, but 12, 13 years later, you know, wow, I'm a grizzled scout now. I've watched 2 trillion films. I've talked to hundreds of other coaches. What are you looking for? What do you want? Why don't you like this kid? I've suggested hundreds of players that have gone nowhere. I've learned my lessons on those, and you know, you learn lessons on the ones you're right, and you know, you kind of get this business. But you know, over and over again, it's really fluky. I don't think anyone can go to college and say, hey, I want to be a scout. You know, you got to go put your time in, you know, either playing and grad assisting and working your way up.
Without knowing the nuts and bolts really of your business, I guess the biggest difference or change is the technology. How different is it, Mark,
Yeah.
from when you started
When
till now?
put the first video on Scouting Ohio, we were on dial-up, so I would start uploading the video at night, and if I woke up in the morning, it was usually done. So kids would be in line where Tuesday night will be your night. When I get up to go to work in the morning, yours will be done by dinner. The next one will go in and it'll go at 3 up in the morning. So videos went up 2 or 3 a day. You know, where now kids are uploading them from their phone instantly. There's hundreds of thousands.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and really what Scouting Ohio is a time saver. Back then, college coaches would have a stack of tapes, and then it was a stack of DVDs. And now it's become a bunch of links from, you know, YouTube, Huddle, all these ways to get coaches their film. So if you're a coach and you're getting 200 or 300 emails a day, watch me, my player's great, you need someone to kind of shorten that list for you. And when they go to Scouting Ohio, we can kind of, you know, give them a list of just tight ends, give them a list of just kids with over a 3.5, give them kids that are BCS quality or FCS quality, and really shorten their day for them because they don't have time.
You just take out a whole section of their grunt work, maybe.
Yeah, and we don't charge a lot, but you know, if you can save a college 20 or 30 hours, oh my gosh, what that does for that staff and how it puts them on the road. And you got to remember the college coach's daily grind right now. They have practice every day. They film that practice. They watch that practice after practice. They get up the next day. They plan for their next opponent. Then the kids come in and they watch last practice again. And you know, their daily grind doesn't give them a 3-hour recruiting meeting where, hey, let's watch 100 defensive tackles today and order them all with the whole staff in there. When you put a whole staff around a table, the salaries at that table, in 5 or 10 hours of those guys sitting there, what it costs to have that meeting, you'll understand why they just want to get right to the point, you know.
So they know what to ask of you to provide for them?
Yeah, we provide them reports 4 or 5 times a year that list players by how we evaluate them, A, B, C, or D. Like an A would be an Ohio State, Michigan type player. B players are probably more ACC, maybe middle of the Big Ten type players. C prospects would be MAC prospects. We have Ivy League prospect grades, and we have 1AA and Division II grades. So the coaches can say, you know what, I'm at Ohio State, I just want to see the top 50 kids in Ohio. Or our class is totally full, all we're looking for is tight end, pull up a tight end. Or we're done with the class of 2017, and as a lot of these colleges are, let's go look at 2018 and 19 and see who the best next group is, and you know, let's invite them to games. And the site is used so many different ways. Kids get invited to games every weekend because of it. They get invited to junior days. They get invited to camps. They get their video seen. If you come up in these search results with the GPA, I mean, it's really beneficial for these kids.
Now, I'm guessing, because I know who you are and kind of how you work, the personal relationships with the coaches are kind of a big deal for you?
Yeah, if someone would have told me that 90 colleges...
Both high school and college, though, right? You have to do it both ways.
Yeah, there's
to
2 different
connect the
types of
dots.
relationships. The high school coaches have to trust you that you have the best interest of their players. And I think over 10 or 15 years going to these high schools repeatedly, build a lot of great relationships and a lot of trust there. And same thing with the college coaches. They want to trust your evaluation, and they want to know that, hey, Mark doesn't have an agenda. He's not just promoting players from Canfield or his buddy's son, and he's putting them high on these lists, and he's wasting our time. He's making me go into school to see this kid, and I just wasted a trip there, and it was because Mark said this kid's good and there's no chance. You know, so giving them an honest evaluation. Yeah, I know this kid's a 4-star. I know there's articles about him, but I don't think he's that good. And giving them the honest opinion, right or wrong, is what they appreciate. Yeah, they get paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. They just want someone else to either say what they think or give them a different reason or something else to look at.
Now, do you got any friends that are kind of cool now through coaching just because of this?
Yeah, you know,
You
it's
really
yeah,
become friends?
Yeah,
Or
you could
not just...
you can name drop, and you know, like, but what happens is when it's that time of the year, I'm everybody's best friend. When they all are on the road, and hey, I'm driving into Columbus, and I only have 5 hours in town today. Mark, what 5 schools should I go to? I only have 5 hours.
Wow.
You know, and if you do them a solid, now you have a friend. And you know, we have an office, and a lot of colleges will stop by the office, and you can sit there, have a cup of coffee, a donut, and watch a couple hours of film with them, and get a feel for what he likes, what he's looking for, where their team is trying to recruit, and save them time. I think that's the overwhelming thing is people don't understand how busy college coaches are. The 80-hour week is something they literally live, and all 80 of those hours have to be productive.
So does your phone blow up at all different hours from coaches?
Yeah. If you know college coaching, those guys are A-type personalities, alpha males. They're always trying to outwork each other. They all get up. Oh, he gets up at 6 a.m. I get up at 5:30. He gets up at 5. I'll be on the road at 4:30. And he's going to bed at midnight. I'm sleeping on the couch because I don't go to bed. So they expect that out of me. And you know what? That's my business, and that's what I have to accommodate them. If they call at 6 in the morning, well, I'm running over to the computer. What do you need? Okay, tight ends, this, that, because that's my service. If I can't save them time, I won't have them the next year. Like, hey, I needed that guy, and he didn't come through for me. He wasn't there for me.
Gotcha.
So they're a first ring type of customer. They call first ring. Hey, what do you need? That's the bat phone.
Is it as easy now as to send them an invoice every year now, and then your
a lot
customers, or
and that's
why aren't you renewing, or are you renewing, or?
And I think that over the years you build that reputation where a lot of times when it's the year's up and it's time to buy a new subscription, these guys are just like, yeah, we can't go without that. And I think a lot of them have told me that I can't, even if it wasn't good, I can't let my opponents get it without me knowing what's in it. I don't want them out on the road first. And
Gotcha.
and this is not a secret to recruiting, but these guys want to get to a kid first. They want to be the first one to offer them so that kid remembers them. And if you think about it, and I'll use Kent State as an example. These colleges after the season, they have recruiting weekends, and the first one is, let's say, January 1st. Well, if you can get to the kid first and say, hey, we want you to come January 1st, he's going to come to your school January 1st, and you'll have a chance to show him all your facilities and all that stuff. But if you wait till February or March to call this kid, he has a schedule that's already full. Like, hey, can you come February? Well, I'm already booked going to Ball State. Can you come February this? Well, I'm already booked going to Eastern Michigan. And all of a sudden, you can't recruit the kid because he's already been scheduled all these other places to go, and now this kid never sees your facilities, never gets to your campus. So getting to a kid first is a big, race in this business.
So you're not only servicing Big Ten, MAC, you're also helping other schools.
Yeah, Ivy League
D2?
schools, Division II, the Patriot League, and I tell kids all the time the whole goal of this site is to get kids not having student loans or lighten the student loan burden. And most kids on my site fit into that Division II category, and Ohio is great for Division II. Ashland, Findlay, Tiffin, Ohio Dominican, Walsh, Malone. A lot of these schools are popping up and they're giving scholarships, and that wasn't the case 15, 20 years ago. So there's a lot of new money out there for parents to get. Division III level, obviously, they don't give scholarships, but those coaches are experts in finding you the grant, the aid. They put you to the front of the line. They get all these things, so your price for admission is definitely half or what it should be. So Division III schools use it even though they don't give scholarships because they're gonna recruit players too.
Is it fun or is it work? Is it both?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a dream job. All I do is work with football. Okay. But what happens is, like anything else, once it gets so busy in the travel, and I got to get from here to there.
When is that? When is the busy part?
For instance, tomorrow I'll get in the car at 2 and drive down to Dayton to see a game, and then when it's over, I'll probably come back to Youngstown, and the next day you drive down to Cincinnati, and then I'll watch games there, and then the next day by 1 o'clock I'll be in Akron for a 1 o'clock game, and then Cleveland for a game that night. So you do that for the whole weekend, and you start eating out of gas stations and fast food restaurants, and that type of grind adds up on you. We're like, I don't want to do this to my body.
So from
I
August
want to
till-
get out and breathe some air. But yeah, so there's a period of during the season where it's in the car, and then Monday you kind of put together everything you saw. Here are the best players from this game, get them in the system. Here are the best players from this game, get them in the system. After the season's over and in the summer, it's the camp season. So from June and July, there's a camp every day. So I might be in Columbus watching a camp one day, and then Athens the next day, the Bowling Green the next day, to Kentucky. So you're.
Do you have an off season? February maybe, or?
This leading up to the season, that July, August is my best time. The NCAA mandates the coaches go on vacation for 2 weeks in July. And if you didn't mandate it, they never would take a day off. They'd all work right through it. So when they go on vacation, they leave me alone. And when they come back, high schools and the colleges are all in camp, and they're too busy with their day-to-day to bother me. So my schedule just clears, and it's a nice little take a breath before the season. Almost like a teacher summer where you got that month or so where you're doing office work, but it's not that. All the evaluations from last year are done. There's no new tape to watch. The camps are over, and it's like a run up into the season.
And not only you're pretty fortunate to have your lovely wife is a big part of what you do as well, Stephanie. And,
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard with the 2 kids that you got. I mean, you got to work it all out
I think
as a family, right?
Yeah, people who have a family, especially young kids, and I see with other young families, you don't like leaving your young kids with babysitters all the time. Well, our kids are the most well-adjusted kids in the world because we've been leaving with babysitters every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. When they get in the car, like, where are we going? And they don't, freak out. But, you see how hard that was on them initially. We're like, hey, we have to go. We'd like to spend Friday night with you, but Mommy's going to a game, Daddy's going to a game. And, of course, you brought up Stephanie.
Tell us what she.
Yeah, we started off where I would stand there and do nothing and watch the game and be like, 66 is good, 35 is good, and she would take a picture. And she was doing all the work, carrying the camera, memory cards, batteries, and remember everything, and I'm just penciling a piece of paper. But she's
more popular than you, though. I just want to tell you that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for some reason, brunettes have a way of getting guys to spill their guts because on the sidelines, more guys will come over to her and say, "What are you here for?" And she'll say, "I'm here to see these 3 kids." And they just want to converse with her, and they spill their guts about that kid, everything he's done since 1st grade, and she actually gathers more information than I do in some instances. And
Very nice.
It's kind of funny, and you know what? She was an athlete in college. She was a cheerleader. She's a physical therapist, so she knows athletics and she works with them. And there's a lot of times she makes observations that are pretty keen, like, "Hey, this kid's knock-kneed," or
She's
"This
been
kid,
doing it long
this
enough
kid's
now."
duck-footed. This kid's got weird thing to this, and the way he bends." And she's kind of heard me say enough scouting things that she's got a little eye for it, but she's a great photographer. And the site looks great because of her photos.
Sure.
And of course, other websites, Bucknuts, JJ Huddle, have used her photos, and she's become accomplished. And there's other photographers, Osvaldo, yourself, Frank Marr, that you guys are out and you give the pictures to the site, and I don't give enough credit to the people like that who donate little bits here and there. And a lot of these photographers, it's a passion of love. They're not making money off the photos. They're just donating them, and the kids like them, and the kids like seeing these guys at the games. A lot of times, it's a give and take. That we have fun covering them, and they enjoy the coverage we give them.
And as Stephanie will probably tell you, photography has made your family life even better. Becoming good at photography is you have your whole kids.
I was gonna say
your ventures, everything.
Yeah,
they do
everything
together.
we do is like documented by a professional photographer now, and it's funny. These kids are 6 and 3, and we do youth sports with them, and everyone wants to be on our team, not because we win,
Because you got the
because we
best.
got the best photos. And